quick question. How are we doing on our reading goals? Are we there? Are we close enough? Do we need to reevaluate? I'll speak for myself. I did set a goal of reading over 100 books, and as of right now, I'm at 12. So, like most people, I have been slacking on my reading goals, which is why we're halfway through the year. We still have time to change all that. Yay! It'll be a challenge, but challenges I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to open up my little reading journal here, and the first page here is going to be dedicated. But before we do that, let's pull out some of these lovely little gel pens. I love gel pens, they're so much fun. And let's see, what we're going to do. Purple. Purple's my favorite color. And this is going to be my July reading challenge. And this is also the first challenge in the list of challenges, which goes out to being basically reading every single day for the full month. So July, so we're going to go from the first, second, third. Hold on, where is my? I'm just going to follow along. Fourth, then another fifth, sixth, seventh. Yeah. Oh, I made it too long. That's okay. 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we're just going to keep until we get to 31. I lost count, y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, there we go. So 30 lines. So per day, what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark. Mind you, though, when I'm recording this, it is currently Saturday. So obviously, we haven't started the month yet. But as I go along, I'm going to add date. Then once I hit that date, so obviously, this will be like the first. This is the second, third, so on and so forth. I'm just going to put a little check mark there. And that way, I will put, yes, did I do my really reading? Yes, I did. And that way, we're getting to use our reading journals daily, but also I'm checking off when I'm reading. And it's just, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a very competitive person. I need challenges like this to just keep me motivated. Okay, if I do my reading challenge again, I get to make that X mark. So that way, yeah. There you go. All right, so this part of my reading journal is dedicated to all of my reading goals that I want to accomplish this year. And intertwined with those reading goals are also some of the challenges as well too that you can implement to get your reading goals going good. So number 2, as far as challenge goes, setting a reading goal. That's it. Very simple. It can be like, for me, mine is how many books I want to read per year, which is 100. For you, it could be something like, oh, how many pages do I want to read per day? How much time do I want to read per day? It just depends. Just set one reading goal. Boom, that's it. So mine is 100 right now. As of July 2024, I'm at 12. Yeah. So I also put on here as well for September 2024 and December, so that way I keep track on how I'm doing at each quarter. So onward now to number 2. Number 3. As far as reading goals was to complete an entire series. Case in point, the Harry Potter series, Imperium series, ACOTAR series. There are so many series. I mean, as far as helping you to get your numbers up, to get more of your books, read the entire series. There you go. Then onward to number 4, which is read everything by one author. Case in point, J.K. Rowling. Not only has she read the Harry Potter series, but she's also the author of the Robert Galbraith, like the murder mystery series as well too. Those books are, when I found out that she had written them, I read all the books in the collection, and it's really good as well too. So it begs to mind that if you like one book by one author, you might like the other. So there's that one as well. And now, the next challenge I'm going to do is actually one of my reading goals for the month, or actually monthly, which is go to your local library. Get your Matilda on, like one of my favorite child books, Matilda by Ronald Dahl, and go to your local library. Make friends with your librarians, and they can tell you all the latest books that's going to come out, the releases, any books that they recommend as well too. Our libraries are underutilized services that we as readers need to use. You can go check out a book for a limited time, obviously bring it back. And also for books that you really want to read but not sure you really want to pay the money to buy, find out if it's at the library first. That way, if you don't like it, you can always return it. So that's also another one of my goals. Let me add some pinkness to that. Once a month, go to the library, check out one book. Use the library system. system. They always have like computers. That way you can get your printing done as well too. They have private rooms in case you need to study. So go to your library. Next on the list is... All right, so the next on the list as far as reading challenges is... Oh, let me look at my notes again. I'm sorry. Explore a country you wish to visit. So go to your local Google or whatever and type in that country and then find out any famous people that were born there. Find out if they have any autobiographies or biographies, what books that have settings in that country, whatever it is, just go and read. And that way, I mean, for those of us who lack the coin to be able to get in the plane and travel to the place one day, y'all, one day we will get there. But until we get there, let's read about those places that we want to go to. And also, while I'm doing this, I'm going to continue decorating. That's the fun part about doing reading journals. Stickers! Lots of stickers. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Wild Side Colorful Animal stickers while I talk about the next one, which is reading. So we talked about reading into a different setting. Now let's talk about reading through time. So, pick a book from a different era. Case in point, Great Gatsby. That's based on the roaring 1920s. Let's talk about do what makes your soul shine. I like that. Reading makes my soul shine, so I want to do that. But as far as reading through time, let's see. Alex Haley Roots, obviously that covers slavery, 1800s. We want to talk about... We want to talk about the Bridgerton series. That is in the Regency era. I mean, there you go. Read through time. Learn about those places through whether it's fiction or nonfiction. Read through. All right. So, in case y'all haven't noticed, a lot of these reading challenges are all geared toward, what to read next. Because honestly, one of the biggest challenges as a reader, once you finish reading a book, is just, okay, what now? I mean, I just finished a great 5-star read, and it's like, what do I read now? What now? And so all of these challenges do is to keep that spark alive, keep that motivation going. You can in a moment feel inspired to be like, oh yes, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. But then as time goes on, your motivation flame kind of dwindles and goes out. So these challenges are really just a way to design to keep that spark alive, keep that motivation going, and to stay inspired to keep reading, which is what we all want to do. And onward now to the next reading challenge. All right, so this next one I'm going to implement is one that I'm actually going to do as well too. And this is the social media and TV detox challenge. So basically, it's just what it states. Turn off your television sets, put away your cell phone, turn it off, and for whatever amount of time that you want to read, get your reading done. So for me, my goal is this is what my goal is. And it's for 1 hour every weekday, turn off social media, turn off my TV, and just read. And then on the weekend, because I have more time, 2 hours a day dedicated to reading. Boom. That's it. I mean, it sounds simple, but I will say though that I'll speak for myself. My screen time on all of my social media platforms are just way too high, and I need to cut back, and so I can get my reading done as well too. Which I mean, I have a YouTube channel, so obviously I'm going to be on there as well too, but just as you are right now as well too. But honestly, especially this year with 2024 presidential election here in the United States, I need a social media detox. I don't know about y'all. I need to just break away and just read something funny, inspiring, thought provoking to get us through these next couple of months. So, if you're like me and you just want to break away and just get your reading done, social media TV detox, at least for a limited number of time a day. And then afterwards, go back, watch your shows, do whatever you want, watch your YouTube channel. Also, speaking of social media, here on Wellness to Reading, we are up on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So head on over there, type in Wellness to Reading, and hit that subscribe button. So that way you stay updated as well too. And we do keep that channel updated with when new episodes are posted as well. And also here on YouTube. All right, which brings us to my next reading challenge that I am implementing, and I think you should implement it as well too, which is to dedicate to actually be more finite with our goals, is to just read one book per week. Dedicate your time, dedicate that moment, dedicating that time to reading and get one book just done. I mean, I'm like a person. I like tend to linger on a book and think about it instead of just getting it done. Get it done. Read it. Get through it. Read. Boom. And honestly, because I'm so behind on my goals, I'm adding on to it at least 2 to 3 books a week, which, along with the previous goal of social media detox, I feel like once I do that, this will be a lot easier because I'll have the time to just get through and get my reading. Because I don't know what I like, honestly, yeah, yeah, it's simple, very straight, 1 to 2 books a week. With all the other challenges implemented as well too, that's a very doable goal. Now you might be like, you know what, maybe half a book, maybe a book. Depends on what your reading strengths are, depends on how fast you read, and also depends on what your goals are as well too. You don't have to follow me, but if you do, hey, there you go. And there you have it. Those are roughly 10 reading goals that you can implement so that way you can help turn your reading around if you're behind or just keep going if you want to keep going as well too. Those are 10 specific reading goals as well. So, I mean, yeah. So comment down below what reading goals you're going to implement. What reading goals have you already done? Let's get the conversation going, y'all. Let's get this community going. My book besties. Book besties. That's a good title. Yeah. But while I still got you here, and I thank you so much for watching this video, because I do want to talk about the books that I've already read as well too, because I want you to add that to your reading pile as well. So this is a part of my reading journal that I dedicated, which I call my reading index. This is where I keep track of all the books that I read, and I also rate them as well too. Just a quick little space. Because not every book that I put in my reading journal, I'm going to give what I like to call a long-term reading, where I keep track of when I started, stopped, and all that. But this is just keep track on all the books. So obviously, yeah, I haven't done that many. But so the first book I read was called Hooked. And this is one, it's a pretty much a dark tale retelling of the story of Peter Pan. Basically, Captain Hook, or in this case, Peter Pan had some rough times. I mean, if you know the story, but he falls in love with Peter's daughter named Wendy, which is a little twist on that. And so they start a romantic relationship, and yeah, it gets a little creepy. If you like a lot of dark romance, that definitely is one for you. The next one on the list is called Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Now, you've been with me for a while. You've heard me talk about the Empyrean series as well too, and I gotta say, I was hooked from the first chapter. It was amazing. It was great, and honestly, that's one that I currently have been rereading a lot. And so it talks about it's stars our protagonist Violet Sorrengail goes into a war cause full of dragons. So there's that one. Also, next on is Hunting Adeline. So warning now, warning now, warning now. It's a dark romance one. If you're into that kind of stuff, yay! But I gotta tell you, I gave it a 3 star because it was just too dark for me. Oop! All right, I am so sorry. My little lighting thing went out on me. So let's continue on with the books I've read. Next, How to Get Good with Money. I also have another a video on this channel as well too that talks in more detail about it. It's a financial book, how to get good with obviously with money. It talks about the 10 steps to financial wholeness. So that's also a good one. That's also by Tiffany Aliche. She calls herself the Budgetnista. So that really has helped me transform my finances. Next on the list is Fire and Blood by George R. R. Martin. If you are a huge fan of the House of the Dragon TV series, the Fire and Blood is what the show is based off of. It basically covers the part of the Targaryen dynasty where the two sides are at war with each other. It's a Targaryen civil war like no other. Now, the entire book covers the whole Targaryen dynasty from Aegon the Conqueror all the way up to Aerys the Mad King. If you're a huge fan of the TV series, you'll be a fan of this book as well too. I will say though, it's a little bit slower pace because it doesn't follow each individual character. It's basically like a retelling of from the Maester's point of view. So basically, it's like a history book, if you will. But I mean, I will say though that compared to the show, the TV show is very tame compared to the book. So honestly though, now I'm thinking about it, getting inspired by it, I might do a book review on Fire and Blood. So stay tuned for that. Also, next is Iron Flame. So Iron Flame is the second in this series to the Fourth Wing. And this follows Violet Sorrengail after she finds out that a whole lot of stuff that she thought was real wasn't really real. She's signed up now for this whole revolution of the dragons. So, excuse me, it's a whole lot. All right, next on the list is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I might have to do another reread on that because it was just a lot of world building. It was just a lot, and I gave it a 3 stars on my first listen. I first read through anyway. I might have to go back and reread that one again because it was hard to get through. I mean, I like a good fantasy one, but that was just a lot of work. And the thing with fantasy, a lot of readers don't like about it is the world building. But once you get past that and you understand what the world is, it gets better. So I'll definitely give that a reread. But speaking of fantasy, it goes on to The Abarat. The Abarat was one that I read back when I was like middle school, and I started to pick up on the series again too because I didn't realize there was 2 and 3 books in the series. It was a series. So this one stars a young teen girl in like a midwestern town in the United States, and she goes and she finds this abandoned like lighthouse. She opens up a door and she finds this whole new world behind it, and it's basically the world basically divided up into these islands. Each island is, excuse me, depends on the time of day. So like there's a midday island, there's a morning island, there's a midnight island. That's where all the bad creatures are. So that's also a good one. Okay, so the next one is also a nonfiction book. Is A Black Girl's Guide to Finances, and this is another. It's kind of like how to get good with money. Again, talks about your money. It really goes more into investing as well too. So if you're into that, that's a good one for you. And then next one, this isn't really much like a book. It's more of a devotional. Honestly, I'm gonna have to do this one again too because I really enjoyed the devotional. This really helped my early morning journaling that I do, so I really liked that. And yes, I do consider that as reading. And then the next one I read was by Robert Galbraith called The Career of Evil. Now, this is like a whodunit kind of Sherlock Holmes style theory, where at the end you find out who committed the murder and everything. So the murder begins in the beginning, you find out who it is, all that fun jazz. And this one, okay, so Career of Evil. Whew. So our main detective comes back to his workshop and finds a severed leg. And what he really, because mind you, the main detective also lost his leg during a battle. And so that's very symbolic. So he realizes that there's someone from his past coming back to kill him. So there's that. And then book number 12 I read so far was Britney Spears, The Woman in Me. I've already done a full book review on this one, but I will say though she does go into all of it. She doesn't mince words. She talks about her rise to fame from the Mickey Mouse Club to having a number 1 album in the country to her very rocky relationship with Justin Timberlake, who I am still very angry at. And then also just her conservatorship, how she came out of that. And it's a good read. Honestly, I also listened to this one audiobook as well too. So have a listen to that. All right, so those are the 12 books I have read so far. I am definitely going to be adding more to that. I'm declaring that right now. So onward to the next section of my reading journal that I want to show you. This is going to be the last section that I show you. This is going to be, this is the reading goals section. Those are my 4 reading goals. And then this one is going to be the actual reading section. So typically for books that I really, really, really like, that I want to keep track of, this is what I do. So actually, so the book that I'm currently reading right now that I'm going to dedicate this page to is called It's Will Smith's autobiography. He writes it himself. Also, I'm listening to this on the Audible as well too, and he speaks it in his own voice. And I gotta say, you've heard me talk about. If you've been with me for a while, you've heard me talk about it. Not only all of his music when he was a rapper, but still is a rapper, he also does. Just recently, I got to the part where he talks about the birth of his first son, Trey. Well, the third, as they call him. So they call him Trey because he's the third, and yeah. And so the song "Just the Two of Us," he raps as there's a piano playing in the background. And I gotta say, y'all, I almost cried. It was so freaking beautiful. So I'm gonna say Will Smith. And typically with these ones, what I like to do though, I like to say the date that I started. And don't laugh at me. I started this book back in like September of 2022. I don't remember the exact date, but yeah, it's been an ongoing journey, y'all. But now that I'm dedicating my time to finish reading it, I'm going to read this book now. And I gotta say, it's a really, really good one too. So I'm gonna keep my notes as well as all that. Things I like about it, things I don't like about it. How I'm going to divide this up. So on this side, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put like favorite. quotes. Yeah, because I already know this is going to be a full book review, so I definitely want to add that. I also want to add my overall rating. I'm actually going to put that one down here. My overall rating for this book. I haven't finished it yet, so I'm not going to add it yet, but I just want to make the page up so when by the time it comes to it, it'll already be there. So obviously, Will Smith, the title by Will Smith. So the date started, and then the date finished, I will put here once I'm finished done with it. Then also, I'm going to add a few facts down. So I'm going to put plot points. And one of the key things that I'm going to add is that each chapter, he dedicates a word to a particular point in his life. Like devotion, he has dedicated to like his relationship with Jada. He also has things like apathy and also anger as well too. So we go into all that. The last chapter is called love, so I can't wait to read that one as well too. Word details a specific point in life. Yeah, he talks about everything. He talks about his life as a rapper. He talks about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He talks about his transition into going into movies as well too. So it's an excellent read, very much so. So I'm just setting it up now, and then as I go along, I'll be able to go back and fill it in. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button so that way you stay updated when new videos are uploaded. And as always, I wish you all good wellness and good reading and have a great week. Bye.